What's up guys, so this will be the full e-commerce email design guide, so how to design high converting emails like the top 8 to 9 figure brands do. So without further ado, let's get straight to it. Now what we'll cover, why design your emails is even important in the first place, how to approach email design in today's readers low attention span era, different sections of an email, how to optimize each one, a live tutorial of me sharing the secret sauce on how to design high converting emails, where to find email design inspiration, a free swipe file of 126 plus handpicked by me high converting emails, and finally 6 common email design mistakes to avoid. So let's start. Why is email design even important? Now before we dive into the actual email design structure, first let's quickly understand why you want to design your emails in the first place. I personally believe there are 3 key reasons of why you want to most of the time design your emails. Number 1, getting people dopamine addicted to your email. So I'll talk about this in a minute. Stand out in the sea of scammers, low quality product brands, drop shippers, stuff like that. And finally, you want to deliver your marketing message in a quick, easy, and digestible way because that's the only way most of the people will consume it in today's age, right? So getting people dopamine addicted to your emails. Now we are all addicted to dopamine and we're looking for it everywhere, every day. When you see a cute puppy or a kitty, your brain likes it and it releases a bit of dopamine, right? When you eat chocolate, it releases a little bit more of dopamine, right? So when you do stuff that you enjoy, your brain likes it, right? So you can get people addicted to open your emails by giving them some kind of dopamine, some kind of pleasure in their brain, right? It might be from how well the design is structured and organized, if they learn something interesting or new, or simply how well it looks. So this is you as an e-com brand owner. So I receive your attention, you receive dopamine. So this is literally the first step on creating high converting emails. So in 1890s, our Russian psychologist called Ivan Pavlov created a classical conditioning theory that says behaviors are learned by connecting a neutral stimulus with a positive one. Now I'll explain why I'm talking about a Russian psychologist in the 19th century in a bit. So usually when dogs see food, they start salivating, they start drooling, right? Because their visual receptors send signals to their brain that food is coming and it starts pumping dopamine. So he found that when he rang a bell before feeding the dogs, they eventually started salivating just at the sound of the bell, so without seeing any food. Why? Because dogs had been conditioned to associate the sound of the bell with the pleasure of eating, which releases dopamine, the brain's feel-good chemical, right? So like we have here, so unconditional stimulus is food and unconditional response, and over time, while they connected the sound of the bell with food, right? The dog started salivating, started producing dopamine just by the sound of the bell, without even seeing food. So the same principle can be applied to email design. When your audience opens your emails and is greeted with an aesthetically pleasing design, engaging visuals, and valuable content, their brain rewards them with a little dopamine boost. They feel good and enjoy the experience. And over time, as they repeatedly open well-designed positive emails from you, their brain makes a connection similar to Pavlov's dog. This will lead them to liking your brand more, which will increase the chance of purchasing from you. Now, obviously, I'm not comparing your customers to dog. Even I follow a bunch of brands who, not that I don't have an intention of buying, but I don't see myself buying from them, but I keep only opening their emails because they always have some nice visuals, some great angles, I can learn something new. It kind of rewards me in dopamine rate, right? And even if people don't purchase from you, like I won't probably be purchasing from the brands I just talked about, they still contribute to your email ecosystem by engaging with your emails, which will help boost your deliverability. You can have higher chances of reaching the people who actually want to buy from you, right? Alright, next thing is that you want to stand out in the sea of scammers and dropshippers. So an online purchaser has never been more spoiled with choice than in 2025 and will continue to be in the future. We all know this, so it's easy for anybody to just open a Shopify store with a product similar to yours, drop it, ship it from China, and market it in less than 48 hours, right? If your emails are not unique to your brand and look just like everyone else's, the chances are nobody is going to remember you when they need to buy the product you sell. And this is one of the really important email marketing benefits. Now, if people constantly buy, let's say you're selling soap, right? I don't know. So let's say you're selling soap, for example. Now, people won't need soap every day, right? They only need the soap when they use the one they already have, right? And if they constantly open your emails, even if they don't need soap in that exact moment, They will see your emails, they will like it, and the next time they're out of soap, the first thing the first brand that they think of that they should buy the soap will be you, right? Because they open your email a bunch, they know you, and they like you, they like your design, they like your copy, they like the stuff you sell. So yeah, you have to differentiate yourself from the low quality brands, dropshipping, and stuff like that. Alright, and finally, you want to deliver your marketing message in a quick, easy, and digestible way. Now, the point of any marketing in the world is to communicate a message to your audience so that they can learn more about you, like you more, trust you more, and finally buy from you. But the problem is that people's attention spans are lower than ones of a goldfish, and it's difficult to get your point across because you're very limited with time, right? So you can have the best value proposition in the world, but if you can't hold people's attention long enough for them to understand it, they won't act on it. You need to design your emails in a way that helps the people quickly and easily understand your marketing message so that the person can open it and in just a matter of a few seconds understand what the topic of the email is and then decide if they want to act on it or not, right? So again, in today's era where there's so much more dopamine rewarding stuff than your email, like TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, you have to give a reason for the person to stay on your email and not just leave and look at other emails or go back to TikTok or whatever, right? So yeah, those are the three most important reasons why I think you should design your emails. So how to approach email design in today's low attention span era. Now, I argue that in 2025, the most important part of design is to make your emails digestible and skimmable because the attention economy we live in is growing day by day and it's getting harder and harder to keep people's attention. And you can't make sales without people's attentions, right? So you probably only have around 3 to 4 seconds to communicate your message, your value proposition, and get the person to click on the email and go to your store or whatever you wanted to do in the email, right? Whatever the CTA is. So here we have the same offer. So in both of these emails, it's 20% off site-wide, I believe, but presented in a different way that makes a huge difference. So when I'm opening my email, I'm just looking at the first section, and from there, I will decide if I want to scroll down or just leave, right? And it's probably like a split second, most of the people, right? So when I open this email, what I see is kind of like some Tetris blocks. It's like probably like a Klaviyo campaign or something. And for me to understand that it's a 20% off site-wide, I have to read this stuff, but I'm definitely not reading this text block, right? My brain will only see the picture, maybe see this bestseller sales, and then maybe I'll get, if I'm really kind of interested in the brand, maybe I would then start reading the text. But most of the people will not. They will just leave and go check out other emails or continue their day or whatever, right? But if you open this brand's email, so you can clearly say that 20% off site-wide includes sales items, so items were already in sale, right? Use this code at checkout, right? So in a split of a second of opening this email, I can understand the offer, right? And I can guarantee you that this email has twice the more engagement than this one, and sales, of course. Alright, so the email design mindset. When designing and writing your emails, you want to keep in mind that some people are just opening your email on the go and won't pay much attention to it, right? Because nobody is sitting down to read your emails like a novelist or something, right? They're just reading it on the go, maybe like in the morning, waking up, going to the toilet, or whatever, right? So that's why any information, copy you want to present, so design in a way that the reader can understand in the fastest way possible with as little to no effort. Now, this one is really important. So any friction you include will only decrease of the chance of person engaging and even buying, right? So nobody is trying to solve chess puzzles reading your email if the average reader has to use a little bit more brain power or effort he or she probably won't, right? Because why should they? So here we have the classical Winnie Pooh meme, so 3 seconds of reading your emails, boring, an hour scrolling through TikTok. You get the point, right? Alright, so different email sections and how to optimize each one. Now, email design becomes much more easier when you understand how to structure it and go about each section. So you don't have to plan the design of the whole email in one go. You can be like, okay, for this section I will design it like this, then you can go off of that, right? You don't have to design it all in one thought of your mind, right? Now, most of the emails you design will have 3 or 4 sections, and some will only have 2. Now, this is including the footer always in one, but yeah, some emails, if you don't have a footer, then it can only be in one, right? But yeah, so let's check out. So these are the 4 sections of an email. So first we have this hero section. So what is a hero section? The hero section is like the first section of an email. It usually contains an image, a headline, a sub-headline, and a CTA button. In this case, and also a logo, of course. Now, in this case, they don't have a CTA button because it's more like an educational email. As we can see here, is it a purge or a breakout? And then we have an image of a girl looking at her face in a mirror to see if it's a purge or a breakout, right? So this is where most of the people will decide if they're interested in a topic and do they want to continue engaging with your email or go on with their day, right? So this one is really our make or break, and we'll dissect each section. But now let's just introduce. I'll just want to introduce you to each one of them. Next one is the bridge section. So here you just give people more information and expand on the topic of the email. So here the topic is it a purge or a breakout? Then in this email they said, so if it's a purge, what is it, what it looks like, how to deal with it. If it's a breakout, what is it, what it looks like, how to deal with it, right? And finally we have a product section, and product section is exactly what it sounds. It's a section where people can click and select specific products to click on it and go to the product pages of that product. So here they say, because this is only an email about purging and breakouts, they only have the products for those two problems, right? And finally, we have a footer. So footer will probably remain the same for most of the emails. It will just be like a template. But yeah, again, we'll dissect each section. So let's start with the hero section. Now, like I mentioned, it's probably the most important part of the email because it's the part where your headline is and the part that 100% of openers will see, and in less than a second, their brain will decide is it worth it to scroll or read further or to engage further with the email. Now, this is the make or break of your email. I'd rather have a 8 out of 10 hero section and a 2 out of 10 rest of the email then a 5 out of 10 hero section and a 5 out of 10 rest of the email, right? So this one is really important. So we have some 3 different examples of 3 different brands emails, and I like rectangle the hero image, the hero section, so you can understand what it is. So let's see what they all have in common. So first we have the logo, right? So all of them have the logo. Second, they have some kind of an image or graphic, right? Third, they have a CTA button, right? All of them. Fourth, they have a headline, right? And this one also has a sub-headline. So that's also, I mean, you don't have to really include it, but it's like optional. It depends on the topic of the email, right? So yeah, so we said logo, headline, CTA button, image, and maybe a sub-headline. So those are, try to nail those 3 or 4, how many we name. I'll talk about each one later. But yeah, so you have to try and nail all of those. All right. So now let's talk quickly about the fall section. So what is about the fall section? So it's the part people will see when they open your email without scrolling. I don't consider it the section itself because it's more like a part of a hero section, but I'd argue it definitely the most important part in the email. So this is like the above the fold. You can see that it's part of a hero section. So what do I mean? When a person opens this email, because the email is kind of longer than your phone, right? In this desktop. So the first thing that the people see is without the need of scrolling down. So it'll be somewhere around this, right? This is where you want to have your headline and the topic of the email, the offer, or whatever the email is, right? And this is where most of the people will be like, okay, I'm interested or I'm not interested, right? So yeah, so how to optimize above the fold to max your conversions. Now remember earlier how we talked about the mindset you want to have when designing and writing the emails. This is where it matters the most. You need to make sure that when the person opens your email, they can easily understand what's the email about and what action you want them to take, which is usually to go to your store and purchase. So here are the 3 things you need to nail, right? So first, eye-catching, clear headline. Now, where they can immediately understand what's the email about, or it's intriguing, it builds enough curiosity to where the person wants to read the sub-headline or rest of the email to learn more, right? Second thing is visuals, so images and graphics that match and support the topic of the email. And finally, large clickable buttons, so easy to see and easy to click. We'll talk about all of these sections one by one. So let's check out some examples. So let's check out this example from DuraDry. It's like never run out again, so never run out of their product again. So it's like a replenishment flow. email. So what do we have here? An eye-catching, clear headline where you can immediately understand. Never run out again with do or dry auto delivery. So checked, right? They don't need a headline because it's pretty much clear here, but I'm sure they have some more supporting copy in the bridge section to expand on it. Besides that, they have visuals. So they have a picture of a woman receiving the delivery from DuraDry, right? So our brains understand it's easier. And finally, they have a large clickable button, probably like 70% of the size of the entire email. It's clearly visible and it's easy to click, right? Now, when you import the emails in Klaviyo, the whole thing will be a link, right? But the person doesn't know that they can click on the image, so you have to use a button. I mean, most of the people nowadays know, but yeah, you should always include a button. And here we have another example, again from Blue. So which gentle cleanser is your skin's perfect type? So a clean headline, a clean CTA, and a clean image. So like a woman with nice skin. So yeah, it matches, right? It's not some random image. So if here they talked about general cleansers, and if they use like a, I don't know, like a lip balm, it kind of would be weird, right? It's not cohesive enough. And yeah, so this is the bridge section talking more about the topic. All right, so the headline plus the sub-headline. Now, in most cases, you should keep your headline short, punchy, and straight to the point, or you can have one that's not so clear, but creates enough curiosity to have the person want to read the sub-headline that will explain more about the topic. So here you want to keep in mind the visual hierarchy. So as you can see here, if you try to read this by yourself, so you will read this first, and then you will read this next line. You'll probably read this before the paragraph, because the paragraph is really long, and it takes a lot of brain effort. And what we talked about earlier, our brain doesn't like to use a bunch of effort, right? Especially when we're just scrolling in a zombie mode, right? At some point, you may come back to read this line, or maybe not. So yeah, you can see the psychology behind it. So how do you want to use this, knowing this reading hierarchy, to get people to read your emails and engage, right? So what we like to do with our clients is to have a reverse triangle design. This one really makes things easier. So you can see here we have a headline, sub-headline, and a CTA button. So which color are you? Find your perfect color match below. Shop now. So really easy to skim, really easy to understand, right? I mean, of course, if you don't know the product here, you wouldn't be understanding, but the people who subscribed already know it. It probably isn't like a welcome email, their first interaction, but you get the point, right? Next one, new to making coffee. We got you as simple as grabbing a bag of ground beans and choosing a brewing method below. Get started. So you can see the triangle. So you can read it like this, right? All right, now important discount and other promo emails should be painfully obvious, and it should take a person split of a second to understand the offer. Now here we have a good and a bad example. You can clearly see that the one on the left here is a good example. Why? Because it's plain obvious. You open the email and you have this big orange 60% off, right? And if you want to understand, is it like up to 60% off and whatever, you can read further. But yeah, it's enough, right? And here they have a support. So it's actually get up to, so it's not only 60% off. Yeah. So really nice. But here the 50% off, which is also a really big discount, right? Kind of blended in with the background. So when I open this email, if I look at it in a split second, I might see this stuff, but I maybe won't notice this because it doesn't really pop off, right? So yeah, maybe right, just read this and it's kind of okay, but chances are people will even miss it, right? And they'll just go back, and maybe some of them were actually interested in the offer. Yeah. Or maybe they weren't interested immediately, but if they saw the 50% off, they would be interested, right? All right, powerful graphics. Now, besides the headline we talked about in the About the Fall section, you want to have some images or graphics that are cohesive and with your topic and work really great, right? So you want to have your graphics most of the time, a hero image, work cohesive with your headline, like we talked about here. So here is a skincare brand, and it says free cosmetic bag with any purchase over $75. Use this code. And then it's a picture of a girl holding that cosmetic bag, right? If it was just like a skincare, like this here, it wouldn't work so great, right? Because it would kind of be confusing. Same thing here, 3 simple tips for glowing skin, and we have a picture of a girl with a really nice glowing skin, right? Perfect. So if this picture was here, it would kind of be confusing. So you get the point. Now, finally, we have large clickable buttons. although your whole hero image should be linked, like we talked about earlier, some people won't know actually that they can click on it and go to your website. So here's a checklist for your buttons. Number one, large enough. Now remember, all of these are a rule of thumb. Sometimes you would even have emails that are smaller but are clearly visible and fit the triangle design. But yeah, you usually want to have at least 60% of the width. So if the email is 600 pixels wide, you want to have the CTA button 360, so at least 60%, right? You can see here that it's probably like 70% of the email, and it's really big email. You can really see it and click on it, right? And here we have a bad example, because not only that it's small, but it's also on the left side, and it's also kind of blended in with the background. So this one really won't work, and I'll explain why. The next thing is also stands out, impossible not to notice. So here we have a really big CTA. I really like these kind of CTAs from Grants. It says get up to 52% off. Really visible, really big, really clickable, really nice. Well, over here, it would take me like 3 seconds to see this email, because first it's too small. Second, it's like a shades away from being the same color as the background. Oh yeah. Next one doesn't blend in with the background, so you want to use contrasting colors. Like here, if they use, so we can see that this girl is black, how they say it, right? Then the CTA if the CTA was also the same color of her skin, it would kind of blend with her and it wouldn't really pop off, right? But here Bloom did a great job and then created like this white rectangle with like a blue shade, right? While on the other hand, here we have a bad example from another brand, and also same as the previous one here, only a couple of shades from being the same color as the background. So really not so easy to spot. But yeah, and finally we have a center in the middle. Why is this important? Because most of the people will open your emails. I mean, really depends on your brand, but for most of the brands, will open your emails on your mobile. And most people are right-handed. So when they hold their email, and if the CTA is on the left here, then they will have to stretch their button, and it's just more effort. And a lot of people won't even want to go through that effort just to click on the email and go to your website and do whatever, right? So here we have a really bad example. It's a nice hero image, it's a nice headline thing, and I understand why they put it here, because they want the girl to be visible, right? But still, I would maybe expand the picture and then add it like here or something. This one isn't really the best. Again, here we have a great example from Bubble, like straight in the middle. So let's just quickly check out the checklist. So large enough, stands out, doesn't blend in with the background, and center in the middle. So large enough, yeah, real large. Red, yeah, stands out, so impossible not to notice. Doesn't blend in with the background, so it's not like pink or what's this, purple, like kind of ish color. And it's center in the middle. So it's a 10 out of 10 CTA. Alright, so we finished the above the fold section. Now let's talk about the bridge section. So it's the section after your hero section, and it expands on the idea or topic of the email, and also serves to lead the people to your product section in your email if you include one. So it's the section here that's pointed out in this black rectangle, right? So what do we have here? So we have some additional copy, and then we have some also additional copy with skimmable headlines, right? So here are 3 reasons why a high protein cereals is the creme de la creme, or whatever that means. And it's really skimmable. Why? Because they have these headlines which are bolded, so you can just read the headlines and you don't have to read this stuff to understand. So here it says fuller for longer, sustain energy, recovery, and muscle growth. So I can understand the benefits immediately just for reading this. So it's really great. Same thing here. It's like a busting myths type of emails, right? Yeah, it is. So they have specifically about this one. So this is the myth, this is a fact. It's really skimmable, really nice. And here is like a testimonial email. So no BS proof that it works. Then I have some testimonials of before and after transformation. It's like a skincare brand. But yeah, really nice. So again, these sections did really well, and what they did is they expanded on topic of the email. So the topic here was social proof, so backed by science, proved by 200 plus people, and this is the proof, right? Same things here. So they are talking about this eye cream search, and they talked about the myths and how, and while busting the myths, they also proved the benefits of their what's it called, eye cream, right? Same thing here. It's a really good breakfast, and they talk about how their protein cereals are really good breakfast, right? So yeah. So here are some of the different bridge sections we use to create high converting emails. Number one, testimonials. So one of the most pursuing and essential element of every marketing on earth. Now the problem with testimonials these days is that they simply lost value because people have seen thousands of them and they are just not convinced by them anymore. That's why we see different platforms like Trust Me, Judge That Me pop up continuously because it gives people's testimonials more weight, right? So how do you fix it and integrate it with your design? Number one, leverage verified reviews by a third-party app, if possible, of course. Apps like Yotpool, Looks, Judge.me, etc. Give your testimonials more weight because it lets the reader, potential customer, know that the testimonials are legit, that they were written by a person who bought the product and not made up or controlled or manipulated by your store. Oh, sorry, this part kind of lagged. Let me just refresh it for a second. I'll be right back. All right, we're back. So let's check out some examples. So here we have one from this coffee brand. You can see this like a testimonial, and then it says verified review by Looks, right? So they know it's a third-party app. It's not made up by them. So this one really puts the weight on the testimonials. And other than that, you could just say verify purchase. You don't, mentioning the exact third party would be better, but yeah, verify purchase also works better than just having the testimonials without it, right? Next thing, leverage as much info from your reviews as possible. So picture of the person, the results they achieved, time it took them to achieve those results, etc. So make the person as relatable to you as possible to your ideal customer profile so that the reader can feel more understood and thus more persuaded to buy, right? Because if we see a person that is similar to us and they solve the solution with the product you're selling, the person would be like, hey, this person who is similar to me did it, then I probably can do it. So here we have a great example like the email we saw earlier. So an image, and in this case it's even better because it's a before and after, so people can clearly see the results, and they also have a timeline of how long it took them to achieve these results. It's really schemable short email. Now the only thing that they are missing is like a verified purchase, so verified buyer by that third party. Now that it's a 10 out of 10 testimonial, right? And yeah, here we have another example. So the results are in. Here we have some like really schemable short emails. And what do we have here? We have pictures of the purchasers, right? And if we look at the pictures, we can kind of see that they are women, mostly in like they're probably 30s and 40s, right? And the testimonials about how they slept so much better. So this brand is on, yeah, so since taking sleep tight, I literally now wake up really refreshed. So maybe it's like a sleeping bread. I even forgot, to be honest. So the person can see, and their ideal customer profile is probably women in mid 40s or 30s, and they can see this, and they can be like, so if these people who are similar to me achieve the results, and I probably can. And this works really better than if they had like my picture on it. If they're, of course, if their customers, the people who are reading it are women, because if they wouldn't feel so relatable to me because I'm not similar to them, right? So yeah. And finally, you want to leverage social media comments and reviews. Now, this one is really big. So we found that social media like Facebook or Instagram comments do great in emails and even outperform the generic just text at the name of the person testimonial. I believe this is because, again, it feels more real because you can see the name of the profile and a real looking profile picture, which makes it more believable. Here, this brand took the screenshots from, I believe these are Instagram comments. And yeah, you can see the username, the profile picture. You can even search them up to, verify that they are real profiles. And yeah, really nice. Same thing here from this, like a Facebook group, I believe. And yeah, you can see here the likes, which is also more social proof. Yeah, so really nice. So these are the 3 ways you can give more weight to your testimonials and actually make them work because they are so powerful in selling, right? Now imagine like the best, maybe one of the best marketings in the world is right, word mouth to mouth, right? If you had a friend had a similar product to you and he now sold it, there's like 80+% of chance of you buying it. Now, why is that the case if a random person who is also similar to you bought it, but you don't quite believe it? Why? Because you put more trust in your friend because he's your friend and you know that he wouldn't lie to you or whatever, right? But these people, you just don't know them. So this makes it more trustable, right? And thus gives it more strength. All right, next bridge section you can leverage is a really simple one. It's just another headline plus more body copy. So here it's important to avoid really huge blocks of text and even not bold them, because it will just scare people off and nobody will want to even start to read it. A good rule of thumb is to keep it like 3 lines long, like we have here, right? So this like the hero section, and then we have the bridge section. So rulers are back, and have some testimonials here, like you can see it's some Instagram comment snap screenshots, and then I have a headline and supporting a body copy. Same thing here, headline and graphic of the drink, some it's called a sub headline, a CTA, and then the bridge section with some more headline and more information. So really clean, really easy to integrate into your design. Next one, product features or benefits and benefits. Now, people's dopamine sparkles when they learn more information, but like we mentioned earlier, their attention span is lower, so you need to present information in a way that's easily digestible and skimmable. Usually, you want to avoid big blocks of text and present your copy via graphs, icons, graphics, checklists, and stuff like that. So here we have an example from Dr. Squatch, a really nice brand. I'm sure you heard of them. So what I did is I actually took this email and wrote all of this stuff and wrote it in a text box. So you can see how more skimmable and easier this is. So what does it say here? Nourishing coconut oil and glycerin, 24 hours moisturization, sulfates, parabens, and I can't even pronounce this thing, right? But I can see it's a chemical. It's a chemical because of an icon. If they say no, it's probably like a bad chemical, and it's better that they don't have it, right? And finally, you have 4 fresh manly scents. So if I were to use this and put it in a text box, it will look like this. So our natural men's body wash, this one, wood barrel bourbon, contains nourishing coconut oil and glycerin that keeps you moisturized 24 hours. So these are the 2 features and benefits, right? It has no the chemicals here, and here, like I mentioned earlier, if I read this stuff, I don't really know what it is, right? So it doesn't really make sense for me. Most of the people don't, right? Who knows what parabens are, right? But if I see a image and icon of chemicals, and again it says no, it's probably a good thing that it doesn't have, right? And it comes with 4 fresh manly scents. So not only this one is also more scalable, but there is also include a picture of the product, which just makes it more great, and it's really like a great picture. So this one will outperform this bridge section like 10 times out of 10, like 9 times out of 10 to be honest. But yeah, next one also, you can have the benefits in this order. So the benefits of the product are that they'll keep your stress lowers, better sleep, hormonal balance. And if I wrote it like this, it wouldn't be so skimmable and this one. And they also look better. They also have like these emojis, which also like kind of dopamine giving. They look really nice, and yeah. But also, if you don't want to use like these graphs or stuff like that, you can also just bold your points or make it like a headline or make a 1 bold point and an additional copy for people who want to read more, right? Like here, I can just read that. So this is obviously like a dog foods brand. So it says full your dog full life. Then I can just read enhances mobility and joint support, strengthens the bones, combats inflation, hydrates kibble, and entice appetite. So I don't have to read all this stuff. So these are like 3, 6, 9-ish, so let's say 10, 13 lines of text that I can just avoid, right? I don't have to bother reading it if I don't want to, if I'm not interested further. So I can just read this stuff and these benefits, and I can understand the benefits just from reading the bold parts. So in this case, like a mini headline. But yeah, other than that, you can use like these lines to show your features in this way. So high protein, low carb tree, boost health of hair, skin, and nails, good source of fiber, stuff like that, right? Right, so that's it for the bridge section. Don't worry, there are other bridge sections you can also leverage, which I'll show you how to actually practically use it, but let's just quickly talk about the product section and also the footer. But after that, I promise you, I'm giving you the sauce. So this is the section of the email where you showcase individual products with individual buttons that will lead people to specific product pages of that product, right? You don't have to include this in every email, but in flows like site abandonment or browser abandonment, a welcome flow, where people aren't so familiar with your brand, I'd recommend you have a product section. Also, most of the time you want to end the product section with a generosity button where people can explore more products in case they are looking for something else, right? So here we have a great example from this supplement brand, I believe. So it says 20% off site-wide, use this code, and it's a really great hero image, great what's called bridge section. So why is it great? Because it quickly tells you how to, it expands on the idea. So the DA is 20% of site-wide sale, and it just quickly gives you more information if you don't understand what to do from this one. And finally, a product section, right? So here we have each product has each CTA. So if I click on this CTA, it will lead me to this product. If I click here, it will lead me to this product, right? Now, if they have more than 4 products, then I would also include one CTA like this one here to browse all products. But yeah, other than that, it's a really great email and a really good product section. Now here you can see that they only have like the hero section and they have like a product section. So yeah, this is a hero, really nice. And then they don't say here are bestsellers, right? They don't just show you the product, but rather they ask you what are you struggling with. So because at the end of the day, you don't sell products, you sell the solution that those products offer. So if your product helps people sleep better, then you could say like, what are you struggling with? What do you need help with? If you need help with sleep, then buy this one. And here we have some supporting copy for the the products. But yeah, overall, really, really, really nice product section. Alright, now bonus tip, design your product section in Figma and then import it to Klaviyo because you have more control over the design and the email will be lighter, which will help the deliverability. And of course, if you need product blocks, then use Klaviyo. When I say product blocks, I mean to show the specific dynamic product that the person is actually interested, and you do that by segmentation, by inflows and stuff like that. But yeah, definitely design your emails in Figma and then import it to Klaviyo. It just looks better and it's more high converting, right? Alright, and finally we have the footer section. So this is a great place to repeat your or showcase your unique selling points or give people the option to explore other products or check out About Us page, return policy, etc. And you can also have some risk reversals. Like here we have a 30-day money back guarantee. Here we have some socials, and here we have unique selling points. So in this case, free shipping on orders over $75. And then they have some buttons. So if the person didn't find what they were looking for in the email, they can just go to the footer and click shop all, click acne and aging, read customers' reviews, or even sign up for text, right? So a really great email. So let's just see what, so not email footer. So they have a social proof, some unique selling points, like a benefit, free shipping, right? Risk reversals, and option for a person to check out more stuff if they want more stuff, right? So 10 out of 10 footer. Also here they have, again, risk reversal, 100-day supply guarantee, free shipping orders, and some social proof, some benefits, and risk reversals. Really nice email. And then again, they show the logo of the brand again, and they repeated their brand's mission. So here it says high performance grooming. So that's the mission. That's what the brand sells, right? So let's check out the next one. So here it says happiness 100% guaranteed. So that's the motto. That's the mission of the brand, right? It's like a snack brand. It's like magic spoons. So you can see here some snacks, really nice. And finally, we have one from what's it called? Like a hair removal product. I forgot what it's called. Basically, for women to remove like body hair and stuff. So here it says hair is optional beyond these points, and there's your nudes because the name of the brand is NOODS. Skin safety test, shop all products. So these are all individual CTAs. So really nice. Right, so I personally avoid having social media in the footer in most of the cases, most of the emails, because it tends to lower conversion rates. Because like we talked about earlier, people are in zombie mode when they read your emails, and even if they had the intent of buying, they can click on social media and scroll for a couple of minutes, and their intention to buy might be gone. So yeah, you can test using socials, but I wouldn't do it in most of the emails. You can have emails specifically for the people, like a post-purchase sequence that's specifically about like, hey, follow us on socials, like we are on socials also. So yeah, specific email about that. But yeah, other than that, I wouldn't leverage it so much. Alright, now I know what you're thinking. All of this is cool, Wookman, but how do I actually design emails, right? Now that you know all the sections of a design email and you understand how to optimize each one to get the highest conversions possible, this is the secret sauce on how to design emails like the top 8 to 9 figure brands do. In the words of the great philosopher Tekashi69, I be stealing, I be robbing, I be looting, and this is exactly what you want to do. So here is a video of me sharing the secret sauce, so I'll play it right now. Alrighty, what's up guys? So this will be the sauce on how to design high converting emails like the top 8 to 9 figure brands do. So the first step would be logging into your Figma account, and I think Figma is the only plausible software to design. Other than that, you can use Canva, but yeah, Figma is the goal, to be honest. So yeah, the first step would be creating a swipe file of high converting emails like these. You can tell that these print for the brands. And so the way you know that email is a high converting is first you've been through this guide, you checked it all out, and you know the structures, different sections, how to optimize each one. And other than that, you can tell that it's probably high converting if kind of the same structure, similar design is sent by different top 8 to 9 figure brands, right? Because they wouldn't be an 8 to 9 figure brand if they didn't send the great emails, right? So the first thing is creating a swipe file like this. So how do you create a swipe file? Well, first you can subscribe to these big brands and wait for them to send you an email, and go to your email inbox and take a screenshot and then paste it into Figma, right? But what I like to do is to go to websites like Mild over here. It's like a library for all the top brands emails. You can look up to 1 year for free. If you want like 2 years or more, then you have to pay, but yeah, 1 year of email is really good. So let's just take this brand, for example, Sweet Kid. So let's check out this email. It's time for a sugar rest. Okay, so what do we have here? We have a clean hero image with a nice short punchy headline and a CTA button on the first half of the section. So by our high converting principles, it's a decent email already, right? So it's time for a sugar rest. Then we have a what's it called, like a testimonial here. I'm not really sure how the testimonial blends in, but I just don't pay attention to the testimonial right now. So copies what is it and how does it work really cleanly, really skimmable, right? Here we have like a graph here, and yeah, really nice. We have a CTA to finish it up. Yeah, so I like this email and I want to swipe it. So first I want to take the screenshot of the email, but obviously because I can't fit it in one frame, I have to use a Google Chrome extension, and I like to use this one, Go Full Page. What to do is it will screen capture the entire screen, not just one frame, or what do you call it, right? So after it's done, I'll just download it and paste it into my Figma file here. Okay, so next thing is cropping these stuff, so we only have the email left, and you do that by holding Control CTRL. I hope I spelled that right, on your Windows. Not sure how to use it on a Mac, but yeah, and then just crop it like this. Crop both sides in one go, so you can save time. Whoop. Okay, just zoom in. And perfect. Okay, now you want to press K on your keyboard and make it 600. Why 600? Because that's the default size of the email, and I mean the width, right? And you'll notice that these are smaller, and that's because I made them smaller so it loads faster, because it's like a huge swipe file, as you can see. Yeah, it never ends. But yeah, so let's just make it 150 and place it here, and boom, we just swiped another high converting email that we can use for our but yeah, so what's the secret sauce? The secret sauce would be taking these emails and just copying them. So let's take this one, for example. Let's make it 600 width. And yeah, so this is like a Frank Body, like a skincare brand, and you can see it's like a nice dopamine kind of giving, like, clean email, right? So which serum are you? What does your skin need? How would you describe your skin? What to smell like? This is all great. These little block of tests are way better than just putting a single like block of regular text. When I say blocks, I mean like these rectangles and stuff. But yeah. So what I will do is I will create this email, this type of design for another brand. It's none of our clients. I don't want to dox any of my clients, so I'll just use a random brand. And I chose this one, a real superfood. It's like let's just meet the brand a bit. So it's like all healthy stuff in this little thing, right? Yeah, I take like shots of this shot. Yeah, so basically let's start. So first thing you want to do is press F to create a frame, make it 600, and then you have your layout for your email. Get this. Okay, so first thing they have here is this like client sharing free shipping over $40. Let's see if Real has something. Yeah, they have free Real bottle of okay, so they have this one. What I will do is actually click R to select a rectangle, and yeah, you can just go here and click rectangle. This one is kind of short actually. I want to make it a bit long, so this size is okay. Now I want to have this color, and what I will do is I will again use a Google Chrome extension, this time a color picking one. I like to use this one, it's called color pick eyedropper, and just copy this, go back here, enter it here, and there we go. Now if you want to find like the footer, I use this one. So here it says pop, it's like called what font, right? But obviously you can use the one your brand likes. So this one is Poppins. Okay. So let's click T for text and let's copy this. Can I copy this like a link? Can I do it like this? Okay. Yes. Okay, let's paste it here. This. All right. Let's make it bold. And what I want to do is actually add a little stroke down here, but I only want it to be down there. I don't want here, here, or here. So you go here and you only select bottom. And now you can see we only have one. You can make it bigger, like here, 5, like just one is clean enough. Okay, next part is getting the logo. So again, because it's not one of the clients, you don't have any Google Drive with imagery and stuff. So I will just go to the website, click Control Shift and C, and hover over the logo. Oops, I didn't want to click it. Okay, then I'll copy it here and paste. Okay, let's okay, let's scale it down a bit. Yeah, this size. Okay, and you'll notice it's kind of gray, not really dark. So what I'm gonna do is actually click here and lower the exposure, so that will make it more dark. But yeah, let's center it here. This is okay. Okay, so now we have something that looks like the first section here. I mean, not really the section, but the first part of the email here, right? So the next thing would be creating like these splitted colors. So what I'm gonna do is actually again press rectangle, back, and okay. First, actually, let's grab the product. So I want to use these two products for this product, right? So what I'm gonna do, because I want to have like only this without the what's it called, ginger and paprika stuff. So again, I'm gonna just take the picture here, copy it. What for this I like to use Figma. So what I'm gonna do is actually just remove the background. Okay, let's wait for that to remove. And yeah, let's just remove stuff too. I'll show you why I'm not removing the entire thing. Just a minute. And I'm not removing the entire thing because I can just do this and cut it. I couldn't do it earlier because it would be somewhere like here and it would pass this line, and I cannot cut it horizontally. This is as far as I know. And yeah, so now that I'm gonna download it, but make it a transparent background. All right, now that we have it downloaded, what I'm gonna do is actually scale it down. Okay, let's just this. I don't like with peaking, whatever you call it. And yeah, and what I'm gonna do is actually place it above the other one so we can tell the same kind of sizing. Yeah, I guess maybe the angle. Yeah, this one works. And you can see this product has a shadow. So how do you add it? Is you go to here to effects, drop shadow. Do you want to go left or right? If you want right, then right. Just go into plus. If you want to make it left, go minus, right? So let's say we want to use, okay, this one is good. Make it a bit down. Actually, false. Okay. And you see it's only 25% transparency. So let's make it like 60 to make it a bit more. And yeah, perfect. Okay, that's kind of in line. We don't have to make it so perfect. Yeah. Here. Okay, now I'm gonna do the same for this what's called the other product. All right, so now that we have the two products, what I want is like these two different colors. So what I'm gonna do is again click rectangle, it back. Let's just make sure it's lined up here. Pull it all the way down, and for the color, I'm gonna just Actually, let's go here. Website. What I was planning to do is also you can just eyedrop it and select it, like you want to select this one, say this one. But yeah, let's just stick to the one from the website. Now what I'm gonna do is actually click on it, hold Control C and then V to paste it, make this 300 because it's 600 and half. Oops, sorry, is this one? This one is actually 350, my bad. We want to make it 300, so it's half, right? And yeah, for the second one, let's also take color. Yeah, alright, perfect. Okay. Now for these things, you see like this is like a product, right? So I don't know, it's like a skincare thing. So what I'm gonna do is actually put a ginger behind this one and like some blueberries this. Okay, so what I did is I went to Canva and went to Elements and I typed blueberries and I'll just search some blueberries. I like these ones. Because this is like a premium, you cannot download it all alone. So I'm just gonna do this switch. I don't even know how that works. But yeah, that's kind of thing. Yeah, let's just download it. Background. Let's add it here. This. All right. Scale it down. Here. Above this. So we can make it. But the thing is, I don't want it to be so much in the highlight. So what I'm gonna do is actually lower the transparency. Let's make it 50, maybe 75. Yeah, that works. Okay, so I'm gonna do the same for maybe add some effects. How would it look like? So yeah, you can always just play around with it. Yeah, it's not the best. Okay, so I'm just gonna leave it like this. I only did so the email doesn't look kind of flat, you know. All right, so I'm gonna do the same for the ginger thing. Okay, so I got the ginger behind the ginger drink one. So what I'm gonna do is actually make them together. So I'm gonna select the both of them, then click Control G and make it as a group, and then kinda central it. Whoop. Okay, so it's lined up with this one, right? All right, so now we got our products and the stuff behind them, so it's not really flat. The next thing we're gonna do is copy this headline structure. It's basically like a simple rectangle. You can just make a over it, add a stroke, maybe 1.5. This one seems a bit thicker, maybe 2, but yeah, we'll just go with 1. Well, yeah, perfect. We're gonna center it. Put it here. All wide. But yeah, you'll notice how these products are. Just take these rectangles and lock them in, so I cannot. They weren't locked, I would be able to move them, right? But if they're locked, I can't, so it doesn't bother me when. So you'll notice that the products in the headline, that is soon to be the headline, are kind of really close. So let's just take these and drag them down. This and yeah, let's put the headline. I forgot what the font was. Yeah, I believe it's like called New Spirit or something. Yeah, New Spirit. Okay. So I wouldn't bother with copy too much because it's more like a design video. But yeah, let's just say what real is for, and let's do we have that one? Actually, we don't. Yeah, let's select one that looks kind of like it. So weird. I could have swore I had it. Maybe I believe it or something. But yeah, let's take. Okay, so I'm just gonna go with Poppins. So yeah, let's just this. Let's expand it a bit, centralize it, and if you want to make it central, let's group it. And again, click on the text, and here we can just make sure it's central, right? So yeah, so really nice. So what rel is for you? Then again, let's just take these. Whoop, strike. Let's run 1.5. And good. Go. And for these two little things, what I'm gonna do is actually click on P for pen, or just go here and select pen, add it right here. Let's make that at 2. Okay. Done. Another P here and here. Perfect. All right, let's just take the rectangle. Just make it smaller. All right. Okay, let's do the same for this one. I'll just block this. So I move it. Again, let's just make some copy here. Copy. Dark. Oops. Copy. I'll just say add line. Okay. Let's see. Let's say body copy. Let's also smaller a bit. Okay, let's press here. Here. All right. Okay, so now, so we don't want to just make it again for the other one. We can just take all of this and click Control G, make it a group, then copy it again. For the other one, the sections, the rectangles are a bit longer, but you know what to do, so I'm not going to bother too much with that in this guide, in this video, of course. So yeah, I'll just make it like this. For the last one, let's edit it a bit. So I'm gonna do actually is take this one, expand it here, this one, that one, and yeah, just body here, here. The same thing as is in, like the background. Yeah, you see it. All right. Okay, so now we have something that looks like this one. Again, I tried to do this kind of in a hurry, so I wasn't really going too much into precise details and stuff, but you get the point. And the only thing that is missing is the CTA, so let's just grab that one too. All right. Here, select the color from this banner. Okay, make sure it aligns with this side. Okay, let's copy and just fill in that group. So that's why I have it. So let's say shop now, and let's make it all there. Make it white. Perfect. Let's also add the rock kind of popping off. Let's group this one. Oops, let's copy paste it and put it here. Perfect. What I'm gonna do is actually drag this to a bit down. Okay, perfect. Okay, so what we did is we swiped an email that we really like, then we just pasted in Figma, and then just copy its layout, its design, right? And we made a really nice, clean email. This looks kind of nice. So yeah, that's the sauce on how to design high converting emails like the top brands do. So I would do this same process for all of these brands. Again, I would just take this one, make it again 600, and again make a frame and just copy it, like copy all this stuff. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So I hope you guys got some value from this video, and yeah, please go ahead and continue this guide. Thank you for watching. Hi guys, welcome back. So I hope now you understand how to design high converting emails like the top 8 to 9 figure brands do. So now let's talk about where to find email design inspiration to copy, right? So these 3 websites are where I find 70% of my design inspiration, other 30% is from my personal input, right? So mile.com, I talked about this website in the what's called in the guide, right, in the video that you just saw. So yeah, basically it's like a library for all the big brands, and you can just check them all out. But other than that, you have really good emails.com and email lab.com. These are, I believe, handpicked, so you can search a specific brand but it won't show you all the emails from that brand. It will just show you some handpicked emails from the brand, right? But nevertheless, really good emails, and you can search up different categories like promotions, welcome email, abandoned checkout, maybe Black Friday, Christmas sales, stuff like that, so you can get a bunch of inspiration for your e-com email design. Other than that, you want to make a burner email account, so you want to create a new Gmail or whatever inbox you want to use and sign up to all your competitors' emails and all the brands you like. When you open the email you like, you just save it in a folder like I talked about in a video, or where you want, and that way you'll build up your own email design swipe file. Now, I personally handpick 126 plus emails specifically so you can have a better idea of what great email design looks like and draw inspiration from it. Now, again, I add some from time to time, right? Probably like every day or every other day, so it's yours completely free. So you can just click on the link to the Google Drive here, and yeah, that's it. It will just lead you to my Google Drive, and there are all 126 plus emails that I regularly add. Alright, now let's talk about the 6 most common email design mistakes so you can avoid them. Number 1, too much stuff going on. Now, when strategizing, writing, and designing an email, you always want to keep in mind that you probably got a couple of seconds of people's attention, and thus you want to make sure your message sticks into their heads and doesn't just fly over it. And in order to maximize the probability of getting people's attentions and make an impact in their minds, you need to have one main idea or angle per email that's nicely organized and clear so it's easy to understand and digest. So here we have a good and a bad example. Let's check out this one. So it says, you asked, we answer. From TikTok comments to emails, here's answers to our most frequently asked questions. Let's shop now. So we can understand just from this headline and this subheadline what's the email about. And it's kind of here, but you can see here we have a picture of the name that's asking the question, and then we have the answer from the brand. And that's it, right? So really clean email, just one topic. It's frequently asked questions, really perfect. On the other hand, we have this one. I don't even know what going on here. So place buck is back, 20% of entire order, earn $10 for every $20 spent. Like, I have no idea what's going on here. This looks like some graffiti or on the street or whatever, really random email. And when I see this, my brain just feels overwhelmed and I want to leave the email immediately, right, and go back to other emails. So yeah, just avoid having too much stuff going on and keep one angle, one topic per email. Next thing, what you want is big text blocks. Like we mentioned earlier, we as people want to learn new information to get our dopamine going. However, we don't want to work for it. Even I, who look at emails the whole day, don't want to start reading a block of text. So try to present information that's skimmable and easily digestible. But if you still want to opt for just plain text, definitely bold the parts you want people to read. Instead of text blocks, try using different diagrams, visual graphics like we talked about earlier. So yeah, here we have a good and a bad example, both coffee brands. So here you can see this stuff. It's all like really skimmable. If this was like including like a text blocks with more information, this would be just a huge text blocks and not so readable, so digestible, right? So Meter Mexican Mountain Water beans, naturally decaffeinated, sweet and smooth flavor, packed with antioxidants. So really easy to understand the benefits and just click shop here. Well, on the other hand, they have this like a plain, like just white background and some text here, so it's not really a wording, not really dopamine giving, right? So yeah, people won't even start reading this one here. Maybe they will read this one because it's kind of shorter than this one, but again, it's not really so engaging, isn't it? All right, next one, no white space. Now, if you just pack everything together in a small place, it just overwhelms the reader and makes him leave, like we talked about in the first mistake, right? Instead, you want to have clear sections with space between them so that the person can easily skim through the email. And you definitely want to have space around your CTA button so it stands out and doesn't blend in with the rest of the email. Here we have a great example from the Sweet Kick brand, I believe, or Sugar Kick, I forgot, but yeah, really clean. So you can see here a headline, a CTA that has some space here, right? And then they have this section like morning, afternoon, and like, yeah, it's actually also morning, but yeah, and this one is kind of afternoon. So it's really skimmable, this section that has some white space here, also here. So, but on the other hand, we have this one. which again looks like a graffiti. It's insane to understand. It's impossible to understand what's going on here. So much text, so much stuff going on. Like I don't even want to start engaging with it because it just feels so overwhelming, right? And even you who are looking at this, I'm sure you feel the same, right? Next one, poorly placed buttons. So most people are right-handed, so like we talked about earlier. So if you place your button here, you actually have a phone, right? So if I hold it like this and the CTA is like here, so I have to stretch it out, it's not the best, right? So the more effort it takes someone to do something, the less likely they are to do it. In this case, click the button and get redirected to link. So keep your button centered, big at least 60% of the width, like we talked about earlier, clearly visible, use contrasting colors. So here we have an example, really big CTA here, really easy to see and easy to click, right? Really nice CTA button. But here, it's a great email, large planned sales, limited stock, up to 100% off. What I would do is maybe just expand the image a bit here and place this one here, make it wider. And yeah, other than that, it's a good email. But the problem is that it's really small. It's on the left here, right? But yeah, if they put it like here and make it bigger, I'm positive that it would at least like 1.5x the click rate. But yeah, next one, text size is too small. Now, nobody is trying to use a magnifying glass to read your emails. Remember, the more effort it takes someone to engage with your emails, the less likely they are to do it. So make sure your copy is clean and visually readable. So here we have a good example from Elite, a cereal brand. It is a text block, but you can see that it's skimmable. And most people will just read this bolded part, and that's enough. So need the boost, kickstart your day with 17 grams of protein from Elite bowl of cereal to maximize your protein intake. Now, I don't have to read all this stuff to understand what's the point of the email, to understand the benefit, right? So I can just read this, click shop it, and yeah. But on the other hand, this text is so small, and I have to like bring my phone closer to my face to just read it, and it's really not the best, right? Because again, the more effort it takes, less likely they are to do it. And finally, not making your email design mobile optimized. So depending on your brand, probably around 70% of your audience opens your emails on their mobile device. Of course, you want the email to be both desktop and mobile optimized, but I always like to make sure everything looks good on mobile first. Some of the things that easily get messed up while you're creating your email in the Klaviyo's drag and drop editor is text is either too small or too big. This one is really common. CTA isn't big or visible enough. Not dark more optimized, and mobile second turn on for product section. So what do I mean? So if you have like a 2x2, let's say, and you didn't turn on product section tagging, it will be like on top of each other instead of next to it, right? So it just will mess up the whole email. So make sure you always send a test to your email to make sure it looks good on both the mobile and desktop. Alright, so that's the last email design mistake you want to avoid. I really appreciate you if you're sticking to the end. Hope you guys got some value from this guide, and if you need help with creating high converting email design or have any questions about the guide, just leave me a comment below or send me an email at bookman@emailgrandmasters.com. Other than that, if you want to add 30,000 to 160,000 in new monthly revenue with all done for your email marketing, book a free discovery call where we will go over your current setup, and if it makes sense for us to work together, we'll offer you 100% performance based, so no upfront charges, no upfront fees, all done for your email marketing service that will generate you at least 30,000 in new monthly revenue guaranteed. So yeah, you can just, I'm sure I'll leave a link in the description. You can just click on it, and yeah, I hope I'll talk to you soon. If not, I hope you liked the video, and yeah, let me know what you think in the comments below. And other than that, have a nice rest of your day. Cheers!